Hey guys, it's Chuni, and today I want to talk to you guys about one of my favorite series that is airing right now in the spring 2017 season. I'm talking about Love Tyrant, or as some of you guys may call it, Kiss Note. But first, I just want to ask you guys a quick question. What's one of the ways to make a successful comedy anime? You take something that's already popular and you parody the living daylights out of it until it can hardly be recognized anymore. I mean, we've seen this time and time again with things such as Dragon Ball Z abridged, and Sword Art Online abridged, and even Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. But the difference in between them is that in those shows, they have to use the actual footage from the show they are abridging in order to have a show, which limits them on the jokes that they can animate in because it has to be from the pre-existing footage. But with series such as Love Tyrant, that weakness doesn't exist. Why is this show so hilarious to me, you might wonder? Well, that's simple. This show follows the example of shows like Konosuba and School Rumble, where the comedy in the show comes from the personalities of the characters and all the situations that they get into because of it. Which is a great type of humor to have, because with this type of humor, you don't have to write the jokes automatically write themselves, so the comedy never seems forced. But since the series is still airing, I don't want to go too much into talking about the specifics of the show. Instead, I want to talk to you about the personalities of the characters that make the comedy in the show. So, let's get into it. First off, let me introduce you to Guri. Guri is an angel, more specifically a cupid. But she's a girl who walks around in a devilish cosplay. She loves her yaoi and has a total disregard for the consequences of her actions and all the people that it will affect. Guri only does what Guri wants to do. So, when you take into account that she has a magical notebook called the Kiss Note that forces anyone she writes in it to instantly fall in love with each other, you guys can already see where the comedic gold in the series comes from. I mean, it's like Death Note, but funny. So we have our airhead character. Next, let's introduce you to Akane. Now, with Akane, you've got a Yandere who takes overprotection to an entirely new level. She will even try to kill the main character Seiji if she suspects that he is being unfaithful to her. With her superhuman abilities such as strength and speed, Akane is a pretty face that packs a pretty big punch. Unlike many of her other Yandere counterparts, such as Yuno Gasai from Future Diary, Akane is forced to accept the fact that her beloved Seiji is involved with other females, which leads to some hilariously awkward moments. However, even though she is forced to accept it, doesn't mean she likes it, and there are many times where she repeatedly tries to kill the other characters for coming too close to her beloved. Next, let's introduce Yuzu. With Yuzu, we have our Tsundere character, but instead of having her being all tsum with the main character, they make her obsessively in love with the Yandere, to the point where she stalks her trash and even fake enrolls to her school just to keep an eye on her. And while that alone is already enough to get plenty of laughs, the creators of the show thought, but wait, let's add more. The Tsundere and the Yandere are stepsisters, so we get the forbidden incest route too. As time passes though, we see Yuzu open up more to the main character Seiji, but not enough to accept the fact that the one she loves the most is being taken away by him. Then we have Seiji. Poor Seiji. Unlike many other harem protagonists, Seiji isn't an idiot, and that's the big thing here. He may be a hopeless virgin, which I'm sure Akane would be more than willing to handle for him, but he isn't oblivious to the blessing, or as he may see it, curse that has been brought upon him. I personally really like Seiji as a main character because he has just the right amount of innocent to perverted ratio. While he is a 15-year-old boy, he also cares deeply about these girls and their feelings, which brings the romance into the romantic comedy. So you take these four, put them in a permanent relationship, require them to go out in the world, and make other people fall in love with each other. And on top of it all, you make them immortal, so that no matter how much they annoy each other, they can't kill one another. And you will see why this show is pure gold. Even the antagonists we've seen thus far in this series, which include the devil, aren't all that unlikable. And it turns out that Guri is the daughter of God. Yeah, you heard me right, God. And both God and the devil want Guri to take over their respective positions when they retire. So how can you crank the comedy up a little bit more? You make God an overprotective father who has way too much interest in his daughter's affairs. And as of right now, one of my favorite characters in the show is one of the antagonists, and she is a masochistic, disguise-wearing psychopath that is obsessed with Yuzu, Seiji, and Akane. So much so that at one point she kidnaps all of them and tortures them for her enjoyment. Plus we got the whole psychopath versus Yandere fight, which I won't spoil, but just trust me, it was great. Add in a little more drama with Seiji's jealous little sister and some sort of demon robot thing. I mean, seriously, what was that penguin thing doing here in the first place? I still don't understand. And you'll start to understand why this series is one of my favorites this season. Guys, I can't stress enough how much fun I have while watching this series. The sad thing though, I feel, is that not many people know about the show because it gets overshadowed by some of the bigger name series this season. While the convoluted and complex love triangles and webs have been done time and time again, Love Tyrant adds a more than needed, refreshing approach to it by having all these characters forcibly paired together. So guys, trust me when I say you'll love this series. But I think that's gonna wrap up this video. Guys, I hope that you all go watch this series. If you do, or if you already have, make sure you comment down below and let me know who's your favorite character in this show. When the series is over with, I will be covering more of it. And I have a skit ready for this that I was gonna add into this video, but I think I'll wait till the end of the season to see how it goes. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and until the next video guys, best wishes.